Big shout to okjersey.com. Scan the QR code below and actually go to the link below to get affordable football shirts from all the European leagues, including the English clubs, all of them, Liverpool, Arsenal, United, City, Spurs, Chelsea, all of them, of course, are all there. You can get the current ones, past seasons, and also some absolute gems out there, vintage ones, and actually very affordable football shirts, high quality, like the one I'm wearing right here. It is very simple to get one. Let me show you how. You go to the website. It's very simple. You click on the Premier League, pick the club you want. For me, I pick Newcastle, for example. You go there, you will find all the current ones, training ones as well. You add whatever you want to the cart. Of course, check the sizes, add a patch, add to cart, but also never forget, as it says below, scan the QR code and put the code JUDGE in the checkout to get 8% discount. It's that easy. Just go to the website, check the football shirt you want. You will not regret it. Now, let's get back to our stream. Hello and welcome to Footy Judge Mo.
But you're right. What's that, a tear? That's not a tear, is it?
Bro. I'm living.
Is that a tear rolling down your face there, Mo? Come on, Arsenal. Come on. City losing as well. Come on, Arsenal.
You do the intro, Romario. You do the intro.
You want me to intro? Because I mean, put me in your place.
My head is so fucking hot. I don't think you understand how annoyed I am.
Honestly, bro. Well, guys, welcome back to the show. Mo is currently struggling to get himself together. City have lost. Inter have lost. It's a good day for Arsenal, man. I'm feeling good. Gyokeres scores. You let Gyokeres score. Oh, Mo. Where do we start? There's only one place to start, huh?
Oh, City. We're going to talk about the City game. Big up Ray Jack, of course, joining us back from the parent duty, of course, after weeks of being out, couple of months of being out. Big up my friend for being here. Romario Webster is here, guys. Dio back on the channel after a while. We have been trying to get this happening, me and Dio, for a bit, and it just freaking annoying that it got like you come here.
Mo, if you pay me, I'll quit my job.
Like, after we lose to you,
Mo, if you pay me, I'll quit my job. So I'll be here more regularly.
Bro, Hit that like button, people. Come, we need the likes up. Subscribe to the channel. We're very close. We passed 49,000 subscribers. With your help, guys, we can get to 50,000 soon. If you like the video, get us to 100 likes quickly. And the target is 300 likes if you're watching this on the replay. We're gonna start by Arsenal Inter, and I'm just gonna say this: all the respect to Arsenal for probably the toughest team I watched to play this season. Of course, Arsenal, one of the best coached team out there in Europe. For me, they are the favorites to win the Champions League. There's no better team in Europe than Arsenal currently. In Europe, there's no better team than Arsenal. They're very well coached, very well drilled on the pitch. It's not easy to play them. You try to attack them, they hit you on the counter. You try to defend against them. They got a lot of players to open up the pitch, of course. And Inter were adventurous. We tried to play. There is not all I have to say about this game is that also I tasted now the set pieces thing from Arsenal, to be honest with you, and it's freaking deadly. Every set piece is so deadly. It is unbelievable. I'm doing the watch along and I'm on the edge of my seat every time Arsenal get a corner. It is unfreaking believable how these corners are being drilled, and the deliveries, especially from Bukayo Saka, is absolutely, it's out of this world, which is what people fail to see in Bukayo Saka, because they keep talking about Saka, and I'm like, you cannot be that good in corners and people talk about you as shit. Like, the guy, every single corner is delivered on the money, exactly where they want. Like, every single corner is on the one. And people talk about the Champions League or the league. This is why, for me, and I'm just, it's not only the best coaching, this is the best team in Europe. The best team, because it's not only about the flicks and tricks and dribbling and all this stuff. It's about the coaching, it's about the tactics, it's about how well drilled they are. And it's ridiculous, to be honest, to watch this Arsenal team. And this is why Arsenal will win the league. They got a good chance of winning the Champions League as well if they continue like this. Because this Inter team would even, like, yes, last season we won against Barcelona, we won against Bayern Munich, and I believe this Arsenal team can beat anybody. And that is what I think about the team, to be honest with you. And I'm watching Arsenal, Mikel Arteta, Gyokeres scored. I thought it was a good finish. I thought it was lucky to drop his way, but the finish, I can't take anything away from the finish. Top-notch finish, absolutely brilliant finish by him. I thought Bukayo Saka had a good game. I thought Zubamendi was ridiculous in that midfield, and I wish that we had Hakan Çalhanoğlu. But Zubamendi was amazing in that middle, to be honest, for Arsenal. Talk to me, Romario, about how good this Arsenal team today, in your eyes.
I think you sum it up really well, Mo. I think in terms of how Mikel Arteta has us playing, everything he wants to dominate. He wants to dominate set pieces. He wants to dominate possession. He wants to dominate in defence. I think it was a very impressive performance. And you think, going to Inter Milan, San Siro, there's so many legendary players that have played there. R9, Adriano, Seedorf, Ronaldinho, Kaká, the list goes on. You heard Gabriel Jesus after the game say he dreamt of scoring at San Siro. So for me, for the boys to put in that performance at such a legendary stadium, and I know Akanji said we're not the best team in Europe by Munich before the game, but I think you're right. And you know what, Mo? I get a bit excited at times, that, especially when Gyokeres has scored. What's to say we can't win it? What is to say we can't win it? With that win, all of our knockout round games, our second legs will be at home, so we got that advantage. I'm really confident, man. I think that was a really important win, and hopefully this is the start of a purple patch for the Gyokeres. I told you, Mo, give him time. Give him time in his show.
He's still in the league. He's not. But anyway, it is what it is. Like, we're speaking about him. I still think that he's
in the league, more in the league. I think the reason why he doesn't get this type of chances again is because of how the league is set up. If you look at the way you guys play, you're a threatening team. That's why you got that goal. If you guys play open football, you attack us. He gets the chance to run in behind. Look, again, Saka was the furthest player up front, who he passed the ball to, and he still had chance to still run up on the ball and shoot it. That's Gyokeres' best strength. But in the Premier League, it's harder because teams set up in the mid block and the low block. I wanted to read. Let me read this stat to you. Do you know that in the 23-24 season, there were only 11 games in the Premier League that ended 0-0. In the 24-25 season, there were 16 games in total that ended 0-0. Right now, we're in January. There's been 17 scored 0-0 games played in the Premier League so far. Like we're on track to double the number of zero. That tells you teams are harder to break down. Goals are harder to score. So for a player like Gyökeres that needs space to run in, he'll suffer. He will suffer. He will need to readjust and readapt his way of playing before he's going to be able to get the goals in the Premier League. But again, this is what squad depth is about. I'm happy that we have someone like him in the Premier League against teams like Inter that will give him the chance. That does a world of good for his confidence. I'm happy we have teams like Inter, like, you saw it against Atletico. We saw it against Bilbao. Every team that has come up against Arsenal and tried to play open, like, free-flowing football, they've learned their lesson that the Arsenal attack that everybody calls shallow, which I don't understand how. They say Arsenal's attack is shallow because of how we don't score so much in the Premier League. They learned their lesson when they play open football. But this same Arsenal attack in the Premier League has scored the second most goals. City have 5 more goals than Arsenal in the Premier League. People make it seem like we're not scoring goals. City have scored 45, we've scored 40. So the idea that we're not even the scoring team in the Premier League is a fallacy, first and foremost. So I'm just happy with where we're at. I'm happy with the squad depth. I'm happy with the fact that we changed 7 players against an Inter at the San Siro. And they stepped up. Because again, and I'm not saying...
Eze, I thought Eze actually didn't play well.
Yes, again,
no.
Again, I'm not going to. Again, one thing I've decided not to do this season is I've said to myself, I see what my club is doing, which is they built a squad and not just like players moment players. That's not what we did. And I think there's so many rival fans and even like the Arteta haters that want to label some of our players as moment players and want to put the blame on them, even when we win a game like this. Bro, I went to the San Siro and beat Inter Milan 3-1. I don't. On this
you gotta be proud. You gotta be proud of that, regardless of who
right now.
What, yeah.
If I want to pick on what Eze did in his 10 minutes of playing rubbish, but then in his 15 minutes of giving good forward passes, I want to ignore that. Then that's it's like someone said to me, "Oh, Saka took 2 shots. He took it too slowly." I'm like, you're nitpicking. What makes you think if he shot it quicker, he would have scored it? Gyokeres took his second shot quickly and he skied it. He didn't score that one. Yeah. But the one that he had,
what it is, I think.
So again, I was confident.
Ray Jack, by the way, get him, but it's fine. But
he was.
Yeah, I mean, I don't interrupt, but
no, you can interrupt. You can interrupt me, man, bro. No problem.
Yes, I'm the Man City fan on the panel here, and I'm having about the worst stretch of games, I would say, even considering last year. Last year was as bad as it's been under Pep, and this week is probably topping that, in my opinion. Like the derby was. It's a derby, whatever, anything can happen. However, it's really like it should have been 6-0 in that. The performance.
We'll come to the Man City game because the Man City game, there is so much to talk about in the Man City game. There is so much to actually mention the City game, like Rodri not having his legs. And this is why people kept telling me that when people told me, right, that this Man City team, when Rodri comes back, will chase Arsenal to the title. This delusion. Rodri has been out for months, for a year with ACL. He doesn't have the same legs, and you can watch him now. He's struggling. That's why, by the way, he got the record. He couldn't keep up. He couldn't keep up with the player, and that is what we're talking about. But to go back to the Arsenal game, and this is what the depth is. Having Mosquera and Miles Lewis Kelly there and still be able to play the same brand of football that's squad depth. That is depth,
and it's also the system. You have to remember that these players have different profiles. So Miles Lewis Kelly and Calafiri, 2 different types of players. You're talking about like Ben White and Timber, 2 different types of players. You're talking about Mosquera and Gabriel, 2 different types of players. The good thing is these player profiles are so different, but in the system that Mikel Arteta has set up, any team that comes up against Arsenal has multiple questions to answer. I'll give you an example. You guys brought in that 21-year-old striker. Francisco
Esposito, the big guy. Esposito.
That guy,
he looks good.
That guy. The first time he turned Mosquera, I panicked. I said, "This guy is going to score." And then the commentator said his height, and I was like, "Oh, if they get a corner kick, this guy." He did it the second time. But guess what? Because of squad depth, we take out the Mosquera and bring in the Gabriel. Now you
Gabriel. That's
now
what
you
I'm
have a
like, when I was crying, bro, in the stream.
Yeah.
They took out Mosquera and their sub out from outside. It's freaking Gabriel. And I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like, how can
now you have a different now you have a different question to answer. You know what I'm saying? Like you take out Saka. I mean, I say take out Saka, take out Trossard and bring in Martinelli. Now you have a different question to answer. That's what I like about the squad. We may not have the best players in every position, but the standards don't the footballing level pressure that we play in every game doesn't drop off when we sub players, and that's a good thing. That's a good thing for me. You know, again, it's like with City, what I fear for them, and I said this earlier in the season, if Haaland doesn't score in a couple of games, who do you bring on that matches Haaland? Haaland is a beast. It's like you need anybody you bring on cannot match him. Cannot. It's not even possible.
So,
but Deo,
you see how bad we've been in the last 7 as well.
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying,
by
like,
the way, Haaland has been awful. Awful.
He's been awful.
I mean,
this is the worst stretch of Haaland's career since he was 18.
Like, it's terrible.
Yeah.
But I'm going to tell you something.
Boys, you know what it is?
That is the difference. Would you rather have Haaland in your team? And I'm going to ask a question to the chat. And I don't know the answer to this, which is it lumps both teams together. If you are building your team, would you rather have Haaland in your team, or would you rather have a Gabriel Jesus, a Gyokeres, and a Kai Havertz together in your team? Because Gabriel just scored 2 today. Gyokeres scored 1. If Haaland goes on a drought like this, City are in big trouble. Excuse me.
I mean, to be fair, we've had Haaland and we've been pretty good in general. Like this season, yes, is down. Last season was poor, but we won a treble with Haaland. We've seen what.
I agree, but that's what I'm saying.
Like,
it's the consistency though. The issue is a player like Haaland is a special player. First and foremost, I need people to understand that there will never be another Erling Haaland. You will never find another one. The next time you see an Erling Haaland, another 20, 30 years, I guarantee you there is no goal machine like this. Like I still genuinely believe, I know it's conspiracy theory that he's an alien. I can't prove it, but I'm serious. Like I've looked into his stats and I'm just like, this is not humanly possible to have stats like this. It's literally like if you have to. So for me, after saying all that about him, my fear for City was always if he goes out for 4 or 5 games. No, I'm not saying injury. Maybe he had an off day. Let's just say he gets a yellow card and then, Pep is like, hey, I need to protect him for the next game. Things like that. What then happens? Because whoever you bring in is nowhere close to him. For us, if Gyökeres is not scoring and Gabriel Jesus comes in, he'll cause chaos. We have similar amount of goals across the board in Arsenal. I think about 14 different goal scorers this season.
Yeah. But Deo, do you know what it is?
Is that good or bad?
That's a good thing. You know why? Because you don't know who's going to score against you. It could be Ben White. Go on and mark Gyökeres out. Thank you very much. Mark him out, hold him down, and then what happens? We get a corner and Ben White puts the ball in the back of the net. But if you mark Haaland out and you mark Shirky out and you make those because Foden has not been firing, City might eventually score, but they will struggle really hard. For us, it's all of a sudden it's Timber scoring. For us, all of a sudden it's Odegaard shooting from outside the box. So again, I think that's a good thing. When this is like saying you have multiple guns with 10 bullets in each one, or somebody that has a machine gun. When he runs out of bullet, what happens? You still have 5 guys with bullets in their guns.
But Deo, you know what it is? Man City, they have the similar problem Tottenham had when they had Harry Kane. When Tottenham had Harry Kane, you can't bring in anyone that is on the same level as him to step in when he's injured or if he needs a rest. Yeah. But at the same time, you need someone to. Marmoush was supposed to be that player. He's obviously gone to AFCON. But also, I think Pep is his own worst enemy sometimes. I know we're doing Arsenal, but Haaland played 90 minutes again today. Even after you went to 10 men, right? I don't think he subbed Haaland off. So sometimes I just question Pep's decision-making. And where Mikel Arteta, I think, has gotten better this season is using his squad more. Bringing in Eze for a game like today. Odegaard gets a whole 90 minutes rest. Declan Rice comes on. I think he came on just to get a yellow card so he doesn't have to play.
Yeah, 100%. That was very obvious.
He's very, very smart move, and this is what Mikel Arteta is doing. And when you talk about striking options, if you put a gun to my head and say, give me the answer, I'm taking Haaland over the 3 forwards we have. However, but before Haaland, you make a good point there, is it's not just our forward scoring, it's our midfielders, it's our defenders. If Gyokeres doesn't score, Gabriel might, or Timber might, or Marino might pop up. We've got goals everywhere, and I think
this guy Marino is a rat, and he done my head in.
That's definitely the issue. Is bar Haaland?
He's not a rat.
This
guy,
you know. You got KDB.
I'm just annoyed by. I'm annoyed by that. It's the same thing, bro. Like, we have a rat in Lautaro Martinez. He is a rat, similar to Bernardo Silva. These guys are rats. This guy Mikel Merino, bro, is a rat. He's a rat, bro. He's going for the bodies. He goes to foul people. He goes to kick people. He's a rat. I know that you like it. You like it for your team. You like it for you.
But you have Lautaro Martinez. You have Lautaro.
He's a rat as well.
Yeah,
He's
what I'm saying. Every team needs a rat.
Watch me my watch along. Lautaro Martinez. Timber is having his own game. Timber's not beefing anyone. Lautaro Martinez wants to beef Timber. And I'm like, bro, you're losing. Focus on the game. Why are you trying to beef the guy? And I'm like, just fucking play the game. He's trying to beef the guy.
He literally scraped his studs on Trossard's back of his legs, and nothing happened in the first half. Mo, I know
he's an idiot.
I don't know. Yeah.
But
I don't like him. I don't like Lautaro Martinez. He's a rat. I don't like him.
I like,
even though he's my player, I don't like the guy.
I think every team needs one. And if Mikel,
you need multiple. I'm telling you, you need a lot of them.
One thing I'll say about Mikel Merino is this. I think it depends on which game we're playing. That's when he brings out his rat side. Because I've seen him in easy games where he's like, you know what? Nobody needs any of the roughing up here because nobody's acting stupid. But if you're going to bring it, expect that. See,
but you know the difference, Dio? Man City team that won trophies before, that won the 4-peat and won the treble, they weren't a cute team. In football, sometimes when we play football here, we say, oh, that's a cute team to play. There's no dog in the team. There's no fight. It's so nice. Man City team, they have the Fernandinho before. They have the Ruben Diaz, you know. Even Rodri is not easy. They have the Bernardo Silva. They got Grealish. These guys are not easy to play. Arsenal, we're always that nice team. Saka's nice. Odegaard is nice. Even Declan Rice, by the way.
But that's
nice.
But that's changed.
Now with Mikel Merino, with Gabriel, with Lewis Kelly, with Timber, they're not nice. They're not nice players to play against. They will bite back. You kind of hit them, they'll hit you back. Man City always had this in them. Like, Man City team was it's not an easy team to play.
Another thing about what you just said right now, that I think also, apart from like the physicality and all that, is also the mentality that the manager builds into the players to make them listen. You have to be hard to play against. I think that's something that Mikel Arteta has had to learn over the years.
That's our best attribute, Deo. It's our best attribute. We're hard to play against.
I think people forget again that this is Mikel Arteta's first ever managerial job in his entire life. This is his sixth year as an experienced top-level manager. His sixth year. Every other manager in the Premier League, maybe apart from Arne Slot, every other manager has had more experience than him at some level or the other. Rosinho, that has just come to Chelsea, was at a club before. Mikel Arteta was never at anywhere. He was an assistant.
Yeah.
So I think people don't realize as well.
Hull, Strasbourg.
Yeah. So for me, I think that there is a level of him learning as well on the job. I don't know why my owners are doing that, but you know what it is. I love my club. I'm not going to ever back down. And not support my club. I think we've been on the right trajectory, and this season it looks like something special might happen. And so help people. So help all of you, God, online. If Arsenal,
hey, listen.
So help all. That's all I'm going to say.
If we win the Prem, it's a long day.
Before I go, guys, big up everyone that joined us on Football Terrace, guys. We got 1,000 people in the house, guys. So hit the like button, people. Subscribe to the channel, guys. Hit that like button. Paz, I'll see you fucking tomorrow. I don't want to ruin the stream by inviting you. We'll see you tomorrow on El Ahwa, Paz. Get out of my chat. Get out of my chat, Paz. Please get out of my chat. Get out of my chat. I don't want you here. I get a group chat with you. Get out of my chat, Paz. Get out of my... Guys, we cannot have 900 people in the house. And actually, have not have 200 likes, and I want to get to 500. At least help the channel, bro. At least help the channel. Marco here is saying, big up Kelk. She showed up today, never hides. Never hides. She never hides. She has more balls than any other City snowflakes. Now let's talk about City struggling to score. We're gonna come to City, guys. She never hides. Since last season,
Mo,
sorry.
Kelk,
Mo, sorry.
Always on my channel, Kelk. You win or lose, you always show up. I'm just gonna give it to you. You always show up.
Well, thank you. Sorry, and I'm sorry. I still sound terrible, but it's not as bad as last time.
You're still ill. It has been 2 weeks, bro.
Do not get the flu
2 weeks,
this year.
buddy.
Do not get the flu this year. It's terrible.
No, are you sure it's the flu?
Yes.
Are you sure?
Yes.
It is. It's the new strain. It is the new strain.
It is
The new strain
brutal.
It is the new strain.
Everybody I've talked to has had it. It said,
I'm saying, is it the new strain that
my friend
appears in
said it
9
took
months
her
as
It
a
is.
whole
16 days
human
to be
being?
healthy.
It is. She was sick for like a couple
I'm
weeks.
coming up on 2 weeks.
That's what I'm saying. I said, is it the new
I've
strain
had
that appears after
I've
9
had
months as a whole human being?
You know what? Anyway,
I've
go
been
back to the
told
football.
16 days. I've been told, yeah, a lot. Everybody
No,
I know
back
who's had
to
it.
the-
has had
Have you
it.
been
Go
told
back
my
to the
month?
football.
Have
I
you
want
been
to
told
go
my
back, guys. I want to go back to the football. And I just want to talk about some players of Arsenal. Who has a better squad than Arsenal in Europe?
Sorry.
No one. No one's got a better squad, bro. No one's got
Squad
a better
depth, no.
squad. Maybe there's Real Madrid. Obviously, have a better 11.
Real
You could
Madrid.
argue better
Real
11.
Madrid, no.
They're
I mean,
You
11.
could argue maybe PSG. PSG's got a good squad. I mean,
Squad.
they did just win the treble, guys. Like PSG is still.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
but if you're
PSG
saying,
very
if
good.
you're
Bayern
saying,
Munich are still pretty decent.
Yeah, I mean,
Squad-wise.
I'm
Now
not
they
going to
got
argue
Musiala
hard
back.
and
That's a
say
good-
it's
that's a good
not
player to have
Arsenal,
back.
but
Yeah, I think it's hard to say it's not us, but I think if you look at Real Madrid, you got to remember they got a lot. Well, pretty much their whole squad of Champions League winners, like you said, Ray. PSG got a squad full of Champions League winners. I'm just, I'm cautious
but
about us
if you're-
crowning us too
Again,
soon. They are no, 'cause
You're
there.
not
We
the
can't
champions. Liverpool. You're not the champions. Liverpool
Yeah.
top group. You're not the champions.
Most question is best squad, not best players. Like
Yeah.
I don't think
Yeah,
PSG
best
has
squad.
a
We got
better
the best
deeper
squad.
than Arsenal. I don't think so. They have better.
No,
they might
no.
have better players in certain positions. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that their players are not better in those positions. Fair enough. They just won the Champions League. They have better players in those positions. But depth for depth, like even they just lost Donnarumma, who was their better goalkeeper, to get a new goalkeeper.
yeah.
And I think that even us, the goalkeeper we have as our second goalkeeper, right, is also a good goalkeeper. Kepa you might say or whatever you want to say about him, but that's a good goalkeeper to have. He did well for Bournemouth last season. So again,
No,
if
you're
you're
right,
talking
you're
squad
right,
depth,
you're right.
like squad depth,
Yeah.
man from
I mean,
that's what I'm saying.
it's January.
I'm not talking
like,
I'm not talking
at
player
now,
for player.
present, sure.
It's
It's hard to say. I mean, you've won all your Champions League games. You're top of the Prem. Like it's pretty difficult to say another team at present. Like, and that's coming from me. Like I hate saying it, but it's hard to argue. I would agree.
Yeah, no.
No.
Do you know what it is, Mo? I wanted to ask you a question before we got into Man City, if that's right, because I know you was coughing, bro, and I was actually concerned. But I think that might be a little.
I'm
bit
coughing because I did the watch.
sickness.
I'm not sure if you have seen my watch along. I was so livid. I was so upset.
I love.
I'm upset because I genuinely believe that at 1-1, I thought we should have taken the lead. We had two clear-cut chances in front of the goal. Two clear-cut chances. And I thought that we should have
Could have
taken the lead.
equalised second half.
And we fumbled. We fumbled big time, in my
But
opinion.
Mo, is this a concern for you about Italian football at the minute? Or am I looking too deep into it? Is there any concern about, because a lot of people say the Premier League's the best league in the world. They've got all
It
the
is
best
the best
managers,
league.
the best players, and it's obviously the first team in England. Yeah, but are you concerned the gap's getting bigger?
It is getting bigger. And let me tell you something. Your backup players, you still didn't have a 35 million backup player in Calafiori or a starter. You had Gabriel on the bench, is probably a 100 million pound player. You had Declan Rice, 100 million pound player plus. You had on the bench, okay, your second, number 10, is a 65 million pound player in Eze. Your striker on the bench is a 65 million pound striker. You still didn't have Havertz. And you have Madueke, 65. Our second players are at Sherby, 40 years old. This guy, the right wing back, is our second guy. The guy would not play and I'm not saying this is the reality. There's no excuses here. But reality is there is a gap in money. Man City in a calendar year spent over what Inter spent over the last 10 years. 65 million for Eze is basically higher than any player we signed over the last 15 years. And that is your second number 10. That's a squad depth guy. So the money is concerning between the two.
Supposed to be a starter though? I don't know why he's coming up.
Is it?
He wasn't supposed to be a starter.
Eze is not a starter for Arsenal.
No, but when you bought him, wasn't that
He's
the
not, but
No,
I would have
no,
I
expected
don't
wasn't
think
the
so.
intention.
I actually now thinking about it and looking at how Arteta plays.
And I don't want to hear
never-
you whining about Marmoush and all them and their weight.
By the way,
Nobody's
By the way,
whining about it.
Marmoush was never supposed to be a starter for City. He's a second striker. He's never going to start over Erling Haaland. Marmoush is never a winger. He's not anybody that says that Marmoush is a winger. He ain't a winger. The wingers are Semenyo, Savinho, even Shirky, even Foden, Doku. Marmoush was bought for City as the backup for Erling Haaland, as the Julian Alvarez guy. Julian Alvarez was the second striker behind Haaland. This is the replacement for Julian Alvarez. Marmoush, second striker.
Alvarez started almost every game this season before he left.
Yeah, because you remember Pep played that second striker behind Haaland thing, and Haaland was injured for a bit of time. So if you look to answer Romario's question,
the two of them together most of that season.
To answer your question simply, Romario, it will get bigger. I am gonna tell you something that probably people do. Serie A sold their rights, the broadcasting rights, for 25 million divided by the 20 teams to the MENA region, the Middle East and North Africa region. 25 million, right? I don't think you can understand what 25 million is. 25 million is basically one game week in the Premier League in America. It's nothing.
It's nothing.
And then you talk about the advertising. The advertising for Serie A is cooked. And by the way, all of this and Inter make revenue close to Chelsea. We make revenue close to Chelsea because we sell a lot of shirts and our stadium is always full, right? But the difference is we have to pay the debt. Inter are in debt and we have to pay the debt. So we cannot invest in players. If we spend 25 million on a player, that's basically Christmas for us. If you spend 25 million, we're re-signing Mkhitaryan and Acherbis because we're signing on loan Akanji from Man City because we don't have the money to buy another centre back. That's it. That's what it is. So it's not a sub story. I don't want to sit here and say a sub story. I still think that the players on the pitch were good enough to literally
a tiny violin for you and your sub story.
to win against Arsenal. Manchester City gave Gehi 300k. Our top earner, Lautaro Martinez, earns less than half what Man City's centre back earns. Half. That's a top earner. But it's not a sub story. I don't want to go there. That's not like that.
That 300k week is a little. That's basically his sign because you would have gotten a signing bonus if he had left on a free. So basically, we're giving him the signing bonus in his wages.
No, you're wrong. You're wrong. We sold the 900 million, 25 to the manager. Bein Sports, just to let you know, Bein Sports offered 100 million, and for corruption, they sold it for 25 because they didn't want to sell it to the Qataris. Just to let you know, that's in the MENA region only.
But
anyway, that's I don't want to get into that.
I have I don't even want to talk about the money. I want to talk about the quality of football. Inter,
I think we have very good quality football.
That's what I'm saying. That's where I want to go to.
Very good quality.
Inter are a big team in Europe. They've always been a big team in Europe, at least from as far back as the 90s that I have known. Inter has always been a big team in Europe. Europe is a different thing. Yeah, you can compare leagues and say the Premier League might be better than other leagues, but you're only talking on the financial side because of the broadcast rights and how much the teams in England make. But if you're talking about the quality of football in the Champions League, the Spanish clubs have won it more than the British clubs. The Italian clubs have a lot of heritage there. So when we talk about the football on the pitch, forget even when you didn't have all the quality players back then, you were winning Champions Leagues with your teams. Because in Europe, it's a different ball game.
Yeah, but we had even the time that we won the treble, we had the national captains in every place. We had Lucio, the starting center back for Brazil. We had the starting center back for Argentina, Walter Samuel. We had Javier Zanetti. We had Stankovic, the captain of Serbia at that time. We had Diego Milito, the starting striker for Argentina back then, right? We had Samuel Eto'o, the captain of Cameroon. I know. I'm not saying our goalkeeper with the starting goalkeeper for Brazil, Julio Cesar. We had Maicon, the starting right back for Brazil. We had these players. Now we have players that wouldn't start for anybody. With all due respect, like this is like. But anyway, that's for Inter. It's hard.
You know what? Again, you can't separate the money eventually from the quality, because
it's impossible.
Most players will want to go to where the money is at. If they feel like, if you feel you're the best, you want to go to where where you get remunerated the best. So, anyways, fair enough. But I
want to ask a question. I want to get him back to football and ask a question, because there is something that was discussed on the football terrace about, is this Arsenal different than the Arsenal that play in the league? Is this different? Do you guys think it's different?
No.
So why
it's the opposition
Arsenal get criticized in the league then?
Because people
I think it's the opposition, Mo.
It's because people just want to banter. That's why we get criticized in the league. People just want to banter. Because again, we've only lost how many games in the league? Let's be honest about it. In the Premier League this season, out of 20, what week are we at right now? Well, literally, we've lost
22 or 23.
So we've lost 20. We've lost 2 games out of 22 games in the league, and people still want to banter. And the reason why, I said this earlier in the stream when I said one of the reasons why this season it is tougher, right? The league is, if you look at the amount of score draws that are happening in the league currently. Last year it was 16 in 38 games across all the board. The year before it was 11. This year by January it's already 17 games that are score draws. That tells you that it's harder to score against teams. Why is it harder? Because teams have figured out how to play mid blocks, low blocks. Managers are better in the league right now. You have better quality managers. And the reason you have better quality managers is, even though when Maresca got fired, or if they're going to fire, like when they fired United's manager, you had some United fans saying, oh, you know what, hey, the manager of Maresca is not a bad idea. Because again, these are not terrible managers. Like, some of the best managers are in the league right now. So they only want to banter Arsenal because we haven't won a trophy, which is why they keep on saying, oh, Arsenal in the league is terrible.
Yeah, but
to be fair, though,
it is as well.
Part of it
it's not
is the gap.
Because,
like,
again, it's not because
the gap. What do you mean the gap?
Well, it feels like, as a City fan, we're playing so poorly and we're only 7 back. It feels like this good of an Arsenal team should be at this point 12, 14 points.
I'm begging you. Put the bullet in the back of my head.
Listen. That is a fallacy. That is a fallacy, though. You know why that is a fallacy? Because every rival.
It's a very good argument, Trey Jack. I want to hear the answer.
Every rival fan says Arsenal is not playing well. Arsenal is bad. We're lucky. Let me tell you what they've said throughout the entire season for you to understand that you say an Arsenal team playing this well in the league. Meanwhile, what they said in the first 7 games was, oh, you're set piece FC. After that happened, they turned around and said it can't last forever. Then we start scoring open goals. Oh, no, now you're own goal FC. Like, they found a reason to shit on any good games that we have played. Even games where we played poorly, but we held on and found a way to win, they shat on it. So they've already labeled us a bad team. So how do you expect the bad team to be 12 points ahead of City? How do you expect the bad team to be 14 points ahead of City? You see, this is where I don't agree with that argument.
I don't think you're a bad team necessarily.
So, no, but that's my point. This is why I don't agree with that argument.
Whenever we drop points and you got an opportunity to take that advantage, you don't. We see that Declan Rice clip where it's like, this is an opportunity to go further ahead. I mean, at 9 points, I'm like, this is over. I'm giving up. Me as a City fan, and you go out there and you don't get it done, and you only draw when we lose. Like, that's what I feel like. It's just maybe there's a mental block thing where we're this close to putting it out of reach, and we just can't quite do it.
Even you know what? Even Declan Rice saying that, I think he hasn't realized how hard it is to win the league. Let's do the point system here. 22 games, we've lost 2 games this season. We've drawn 5, right? We've lost 2 games and drawn 5, and we're at the 50-point mark after 22 games. And people are saying you should be 12 more points ahead. So at 12, we should be at 62 points. You're telling me that in 22 games, we're not the Harlem Globetrotters. Even the Invincibles, the season we went invincible, we drew 11 to 12 games that season. I think people don't realize how hard it is to win this league. They think it's a walkover.
I mean, as a City fan, I would say I do have a pretty good idea of what it takes to win the league.
Oh, no.
Just from watching my team do it.
So you know firsthand,
you can't be dropping points here and there. Like,
I know, hold on, but you know as a City fan firsthand that you can never replicate that 100-point mark again. That's the exception. The norm for you has been this same number of points. When City has won in the past, Go look at after 22 games, how many points City had as a gap. You never at any point, except for the season you went 100 points, had the large gap like that. And again, right behind you was Liverpool at the time. Even Liverpool, when they won, this was last year, Liverpool was at 51 points at this same 22 games. So people, what are we expecting Arsenal to do this season? To go 62 points?
No, but Deo, do you know what
I'm expecting as bad as City have been,
just come in here
to be 10 points clear of us at least, 12.
Nah, but it's not about the points, boys. It's not about the points difference. It's about the way we're playing for me. Because I think the reason why Arsenal get criticised, and Mo said, why don't Arsenal play? This is the question. Why are Arsenal not playing like this in the league? The difference is, and Deo, you brought it up, is the league's a lot more defensive. And I saw an article earlier today where someone said it's the era. This is the year of Mikel Arteta. Everyone in the league is playing risk adverse. Nobody wants to take risks. Everyone's beating everyone in the league. The gap from Man United in 5th down to 16th is 7 or 8 points. That's very tight at this point in the season. There's not been a big gap. And when you look back to recent champions, Liverpool, Man City, they've blown the league away. They've scored loads of goals. They've won the league pretty much by March or April. You've known where the title's going to go. The difference is with us is we're winning it in a different way. We're winning it in a more pragmatic way. So when you tune into Arsenal, you're not sitting back blown away. You're actually kind of bored. I'll be honest, I'm kind of bored watching us. Even tonight,
I just stopped watching your team because that's how uninspiring
it's boring.
is.
I'm just going to be honest.
I just flat out saying it. I'm not watching any games here the rest of the season.
Yeah, Kelk, I get you. I don't even want to watch half of them, but we're winning, and that's all that matters to me. So
winning
I don't really care
what
everyone says.
Winning's
more important. Yeah, winning's not boring.
It's not boring when I know it's not boring.
Hey, we've won 2 and 7. I'd take some boring wins, but I'm just saying. My point is, you're 7 for 7 in the Champions League. I mean, that to me says you guys should be dominating the Premier League as well.
Yeah,
I know. But again, the Premier League.
Can I hold on? Can I come in there?
Okay, go on.
Ray Jack, last season, Liverpool were top of the Champions League. Liverpool were much better, and Arsenal were awful. And Liverpool are only 5 points ahead. So that doesn't happen, what you're saying. What you say doesn't happen in the Premier League. No team at this point are 10 points ahead. That doesn't. Actually, Arsenal, 7 points ahead now of the second team in Man City, is better than the lead that Liverpool had last season over an injury like riddled Arsenal last season. That's the fact. Arsenal were only 5 points behind Liverpool now. Now Arsenal are 7. So for me, no, I don't think so. I think 7 points is a very healthy lead currently. Very healthy.
All I'm saying is they were, what was it? It was 3 weeks ago. They're 6 points ahead of us. We have a horrible run of 3 draws and a loss, and now they're 7 points ahead of us.
No, right, Jack, you got that wrong. We were 2 points ahead of them or behind them. We were 2 points behind. We started dropping points, and then
it's 2 points behind when you started dropping points.
We weren't 6 points behind.
You were 2 points behind.
We were right there. We were right there. We were right there.
You remember before the Aston Villa game that Arsenal won, right? People said that this is the week where City will overtake Arsenal. That weekend, people said that Arsenal will be overtaken by City.
And now it's only 7, and it's been a horror show of a month for City. Like, I feel like we're too close for how good I think Arsenal is.
Right, Jack. The difference is I don't think we're coming out of this one.
When you say,
I also don't either. It's at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter because I don't really back my team to do this at this point based on what I've seen, evidence this year. All I'm saying is based on what I've seen City do, it doesn't feel like we should be 7 points down. It feels like we should be 12.
I think Arsenal are doing exactly what I'm expecting.
We feel like we should be further off. Is what I think you're saying. I think we should be lower.
I think the difference is this, right? I think you're projecting where you think your team should be based on how poor your team has been. You're saying what you should be saying is City should not even be 7 points. City should have lost more games and probably be 9. You're saying you think you're closer to Arsenal and that we are not doing what we're doing what we're supposed to be doing. Do you know that for the rest of the season, if I match City every weekend, if you draw and I draw, if you win and I win, if you lose and I lose, I win the league.
I don't know what the point.
No. I mean, I'm saying if I match what happens, like
no, but I know what Ray Jack is saying. Ray Jack is literally. I think what Ray Jack is saying. That's my understanding, and I think Kilk is saying the opposite. Is Arsenal are not doing well, and Arsenal are only top by 7 points because they're not playing well, and I completely disagree.
No, he says Arsenal is playing well. His
No,
words, he says how good Arsenal is.
They're playing well. I just don't understand how it's only 7 based on how poorly we are, which makes me feel like Arsenal are missing opportunities like this last game against Forest, where they could have put us 9 back and basically all the fan base would have been like, we're done.
You know what? Ray Jack, I know what Ray Jack's saying, people. I'll be honest. And as an Arsenal fan, I don't want to admit it, but I was disappointed with the Nottingham Forest. The only reason Nottingham Forest isn't a bad result is because Man City lost and so did Aston Villa.
That's
and
what I'm saying, yeah.
Maybes. It's all if buts and maybes.
I actually expected you guys to join that game. I'm not gonna lie.
Can I put the stat in front? Can I put this one stat? I'm not gonna interject. I just want to say one thing, guys. Before the City run, City had a run of 9 games. They won 8 and lost 1. That run by itself get you close to Arsenal. That run by itself gets you close to Arsenal. 8 wins and 1
then
loss.
We just completely abandoned
And then
playing that way.
and at that point, it was 2 points, and then City collapsed. And I think within 4 weeks for Arsenal to stretch the gap between 2 points to 7 points is very good.
Maybe I'm looking at it with my City glasses on, where it feels like we're so far off it. There is no way we should be as close as we are.
I'll be honest, Ray Jack. I think you're looking at it. I'll be honest, yeah. This isn't. And Mo, we spoke about it. I can't remember the Man City fans' name. We spoke about it a few weeks back, and they were saying they've not hit their peak, and they thought Arsenal would hit their peak. And I disagreed because this isn't a Man City team with Aguero or De Bruyne in the side, or a prime Rodri or prime Bernardo Silva or Sane, Sterling, Mahrez. It's a completely different Man City team, and the difference is. And Arsenal fans, we've got to be honest with ourselves. And I love the team, but we're lucky it's not the same Man City and Liverpool. And Deo, I know what you boys mean. No team normally blows the league away. But I think a lot of fans in recent years have gotten used to the likes of City and Liverpool getting.
No league has been won in January. No league has been won in January.
Yeah, but the point that I think Ray Jack's trying to make is. Yeah, there has been leagues won in January, bro. If you're sitting there telling me,
that's not the 10 points clear.
Yeah, but bro, you got to let me land, man.
Let him land, guys. Let him land, please.
Because people you got to think we all knew Liverpool were winning the league this time last year. Let's not lie to ourselves. I knew we weren't winning the league, and everyone's already saying it's Arsenal's league to lose. So we need to stop pretending that we're giving City even a chance to catch us. We're pretty much writing City off. And I think it should be a bigger gap. I think we should have beaten Nottingham Forest. Maybe not Aston Villa when we drop points. And I think Liverpool at home. But are you going to sit there and tell me we shouldn't have beat Liverpool at home? Of course we should have beaten Liverpool at home. So if you beat Liverpool at home and you beat Nottingham Forest away, the gap is then 11 points. And at 11 points is pretty much... So for me... Maybe my standards are too high. Maybe Ray Jack's used to Man City getting 90 plus points, but his point is valid. Arsenal, we at the minute, the league is falling into our hands rather than us winning it. That's just me being honest. I'll be honest.
I'm not listening. First of all, I'm not.
Yeah,
I'm
not opinion. That's what we're here to debate.
First and foremost,
that's what we're here to debate. Go ahead, Dayo.
I'm not going to take away from the hard work that this Arsenal team has put to get to where they are. That's number one. So it's not falling into their hands. They worked hard to be where they are for that 7 points. Number one, let's clear that out the way. Number two, I need to understand something. I think a lot of Arsenal fans have forgotten how hard it is to win a league. I think a lot of fans think that,
most of your fan base is
Arsenal fans, Nottingham Forest is such an easy place to go to. We haven't beat Forest at home in the last 2-3 years. I think you guys don't realize that
17th though.
Hold on, it doesn't matter.
Ray Jack, we struggled there.
Hold on, Ray Jack, you struggle against Tottenham.
And we're terrible.
Hold on. Ray Jack, stop it. Even when you had your super team, you struggled against Tottenham. Tottenham would beat you or draw with you 4-4 with your super team with De Bruyne in the team.
My point you're wrong. It doesn't matter how good of a team we have. We always lose to Spurs.
I know. So my point again is there's certain teams that we can't say in one breath the league is very hard and then say just go there and beat them. I expect my team to win because I think we're better. I look at my squad and I'm like, yeah, we're better. But again, you never know what happens in football. So the most important thing is don't lose. Don't lose. Can I show you guys something after Dayo's you're going there to win, but then if you get to the point where it's unwinnable, don't lose. Don't drop 3 points. Take something and walk away from that. That's what City has done all these years. That's what Liverpool have done all these years. But when Arsenal do it, guess what? Oh, it's so crap. We can't. It's ridiculous.
Let me show you something before I do the super chats. Actually, This is the number of points that the league leaders had at this point after 22 games in the past 6 seasons. Liverpool had 51, Arsenal had 53, City had 50, City had 50. So I think Arsenal are on course to be exactly the same as the previous winners. Exactly the same.
But everybody wants us to be at 62 right now.
Like, people want Arsenal
No, you
to
don't
be...
need to be at 62.
Well,
I'm just
because
saying.
the way you talk about your team.
way the league
This is the proof. The proof is right there. Big up
This
Olu for sending me this. Big up Olu for sending me this.
Can I say this real quick? I totally understand where you're coming from with those type of games. The sentiment is, okay, City dropped points today. We should have capitalized. I totally get it. It hurt me. I was disappointed in the loss. To me, it's a loss. I was that disappointed. But on the grand scheme of things, I don't look at I look at what is norm and not what is the exception. The exception are things that like what Pep did with City on 100 points. Where at the halfway mark of the season, they were like, that's an exception. Like, that's not going to happen again. We're not going to do that. But if we're on track to do what the regular people do, what champions do, what the previous champions in the past have done, have literally held steady, held it going, made sure that they don't drop off too many points. When they can't win a game, they just don't lose it. They don't lose 3 points. Do you know how many games Liverpool drew towards the end of last season? They drew a lot of games.
But the league was over then.
I agree, but my point is, even that was still enough for them to say, if Arsenal picked up steam right now, we've just added an extra point, an extra point, an extra point, an extra point. You're asking this Arsenal team that has not won the league in 22 years, this squad of players that have never done it, this manager that everybody says cannot get over the line, to blow away the league in January. No league is won in January.
I'm going to interject here and say something. I'm going to interject. And that is something that comes from bigger Brandon, of course. But Brandon said something, and I discussed this earlier today. I'm not sure if we did it live or not. Brandon, and big up Brandon for his standards. Brandon said to Terry after the Nottingham Forest game that, yes, we are 7 points ahead, but with the way we play, we're not going to retain the league next season. I don't care about the league next season, right? Like, Arsenal should first start. But I hear what Dayo is saying. People are holding Arsenal to the City 4-peat after a treble. Arsenal have not won the damn league in 22 years. Let them first win the league by hooks or by crooks, and then we talk about the standards. I believe that Arsenal fans like Romario. I like Romario. But I think Romario, you are actually looking at the standards of a Centurion or an Invincible. Where are you and where are you and where the Invincibles are? You haven't won the league in 22 years. Why are you looking at that standard?
Do you know why, Mo?
Because a lot of Arsenal fans run their mouth off like they've won all those things. Not saying you two, but a lot of them do that.
Imagine,
a lot of Arsenal fans online.
Imagine if Nottingham Forest is top of the league by 3 points. Nottingham Forest haven't won the league in how many years? And people are asking Nottingham Forest to be better. Let them first win. I actually think, I'm sorry, it's very good that Arsenal are 7 points now ahead of City.
Yeah,
that by itself is very good.
No,
people want Arsenal to play like the Centurion Man City. It's not good. Let them first get there. And then, if Arsenal drew a game, people talk about the mentality. Let them first win one league title in 22 years. Then we fucking talk about the standards and 100 goals and 100 fucking points. They haven't fucking won it in 22 years. And people want to talk about standards. What standards? Arsenal have no standards.
Mo, let me just let you. All right, see, that was a low blow. You didn't need to say we
it's not a low blow.
That was out of nowhere.
I'm sorry. I'm going to tell you. Let me tell you something. Inter,
then you got to let me come in.
No. I do the same for my club. That's the people think I'm actually, it's a low blow and that's a dig, right? It's not a dig. When Inter didn't make Champions League for 5 consecutive seasons, and people at Inter fan base, because by that time, by the way, I used to do a lot of content and stuff, like watch content, and people were talking about Inter should win the league, and I'm like, bro, can we just fucking make the Champions League first before we talk about winning the league? Like, can we just be there first and then talk about winning the league?
No, you're right. You're right. Okay, I make you right. We need to win the league first. But let me just explain, because a lot of the chat are questioning my Arsenal fan credentials. I'm at most of the games, right? Firstly, I'm at most of the games.
You don't need to explain yourself.
I know, but
people don't need to explain to themselves about being a fan of a football.
No, I'm just bantering with the chat. But secondly, the thing is, shouts at Froggy because he said he.
Guys, I need 2 minutes. I need 2 minutes. Can you guys run the show for 2 minutes?
Yeah, we.
Guys, thank you for the donation super chat. So I'm gonna come back and discuss all the super chats. Appreciate you. I need 2 minutes.
We got you, Mo. So yeah, Froggy, he made a good point. Yeah, he is. Froggy said, leave your PTSD off the pod. Bro, I can't lie. And Dale, I don't know if you got the same. There is a little bit of PTSD in there. How many times can we finish second? And you know what's interesting? You tell me it's good enough. And when I said it's falling into our hands, what I meant was we're benefiting off of the other teams not winning. And we finished with 89 points in the 23-24 season. It's Arsenal's highest ever points total in the Premier League. And we didn't win the league. So you can't sit there and just tell me like it's irrelevant what other teams are doing. It's very relevant because you can only be as good as.
I never use again. I never use the words. It's irrelevant.
Didn't the Invincibles have 90 points?
I know, and I'm not saying whatever they're
doing. Paraphrasing.
I'm not saying whatever they're doing is important. What I'm saying is this league is very difficult to win. I've seen Arsenal win 2 Premier Leagues in my lifetime. I've seen Arsenal win trophies in my lifetime. And I think the first time we won the Premier League as well, we were second 3 times in a row.
Yeah, we were
second 3 times in a row before he won it. So all of this is not new to me. As much as it pains me that we haven't won it in 22 years, as much as it pains me, my point still stands.
Old enough to remember.
My point still stands that, I mean, for me, and I'm speaking for me, maybe not every Arsenal fan, that I've seen this type of trajectory, and in a week where your rivals drop points, you should capitalize. But when you're not able to take a point, a loss would be worse. Because I've seen it. The Invincible season, at the 22-game mark, I don't think we had up to 50 points at the time. I think it was 49. We went on to we drew our last 4 games. We drew the last game of the season on the Invincible season. The last game we drew it. So my point is, again, draws will harm you if if you have so many of them. Last season we had 14 draws. Out of those 14 draws, 6 of them were played with 10 men, 6 red cards. I call that indiscipline. And those 6, we lost. We had a winning position 1-0, and we came and drew the games. Imagine we had 11 players on the pitch and could go on to win those games 1-0. We would have drawn 8 games. We would have been closer. We would have been closer with all our injuries to Liverpool. So again, I don't just look at the team and be like, oh yeah, well, PTSD. Yeah, I've seen it happen. In the 22-23 season where we were 8 points ahead of City, by game week 30, City had 2 games in hand. By game week 35, which was 3 more games to the end of the season, they had 1 game in hand. People seem to forget that City, literally, and the City of that season was going to win those 2 games in hand. Forget the stories that touch the heart, right? So City, that was 6 points in their pocket. And that means they were literally 2 points behind us. We had to be perfect, inch perfect, win every game to win the league. And that wasn't going to happen for that particular Arsenal squad. For this Arsenal squad,
that's true. Squad, but you don't probably have to be perfect. Like at the end of the day, it's not probably going to matter at this point with the quality of like how not good City are and Villa are not. They're not going to push either for this title.
That can't be denied. That can't be denied, man. It's not a criticism of Arsenal. I was just trying to understand.
I'm not criticizing Arsenal. I think they're good.
Made a good point. It's not a criticism. It's not a criticism of Arsenal. I'm obviously happy. I'm very happy that it looks like we're going to win the league. All I'm saying is, Deo, you can't sit there and tell me you didn't think we'd beat Liverpool and that you didn't think we'd beat Nottingham Forest.
Let me say this.
I did not think you were going to beat Nottingham Forest. I will just say I knew you were dropping points in that game.
Romario, let me say this to you, right? Every game we go into, I come in with chest and say we're winning this game. But I know one thing for a fact. Yeah. There will be games that we will lose this season, and there will be games that we will draw this season. It is when we draw or lose those games that really matter emotionally to me. When we draw a game against Nottingham Forest, I am heavily disappointed in the team for drawing a game just because City lost. Because if City had won, right, it would be a different narrative. Now, those games that we're going to lose and draw this season are definitely going to happen.
I need to do the super chats. Then we go. I need to do the super chats, and then we do the City game. Squad full of pensioners. At Sherby, Mkhitaryan. Yes, T. Thank you so much, T. Mentally gimmick when we were 3-0 down to Bodo Glimt. City team couldn't handle Bodo Glimt, and it could have been 6.
Bodo Glimt.
Bro, it was a massacre. It was a massacre, bro. They have an apartment complex inside their stadium, bro. This is how bad it is.
That first goal.
Bro, I'm just gonna say, Osimhen is gonna molest the City centre backs next week. They have Gay. Is Gay gonna be registered?
He can't play. He can't play next week.
He can't play.
He can't play until the knockout.
Until the knockout
He's
stages.
not registered. Same with Semenyo. This happened last season with Marmoush. Marmoush couldn't play in the first game or the last game of the group phase, but then he played in the playoff. So, and it looks like we're heading for the playoff now, even though we comfortably should not have.
Better
he
hope
will be able
Arsenal,
to play then.
Better hope Arsenal is not peaking too early in the Champions League this year. Remember, PSG won. We were terrible in the league stage last year. You weren't terrible. Arsenal finished third in the league stage last season. PSG were terrible.
I think they made PSG were terrible.
PSG were terrible.
PSG
but remember,
barely made the playoff, remember?
Yeah, but remember, Osimhen
if we
wasn't
beat them
playing.
in that game, they would have been eliminated.
Yeah, but Dembele didn't play. Kvaratskhelia wasn't in the team.
He wasn't
so
eligible to play that game. Yeah.
Yes, right. Kvaratskhelia wasn't there, guys. So it's different. And also, I think this Arsenal team is structured to actually stay consistent. Why is the City fan speaking as if there is not 18 other teams in the league also fighting for points? As poor as City are, there have been other decent teams. Show some respect to the league. And I think the Premier League is becoming very hard. I think the Premier League is... I actually think Dio, the Dio stat that he showed in the beginning of the show, when there is 17 0-0 draws, it shows you how tough the league is to win games.
That's crazy.
It is very tough to win games now. And it's like people said, the league last season had 11 0-0 draws.
23-24 was 11. Last year was 16. All through
the whole season. And now
it's 17.
It was 17 already. That's how hard the league is this season to win games. Not gonna lie, if I lost to Bodo Glimt, I wouldn't talk about titles. Fair enough.
Oh no, they have a right to talk about titles. City, forget people can we can banter them about Bodo Glimt, but they have a right to talk about titles. Please don't do that.
That's why rival fans hate us.
Froggy, come back to me when you win 6 out of 7 titles, please. Please come back.
This is why rivals fan hate us. 7 points clear and still moaning. Leave your PTSD off the pod, please. People have PTSD. A lot of Arsenal fans do have.
I was going to say this as well. Someone just put it in the chat, but I was going to say this. Tottenham are 14th in the league, but they are 4th in the Champions League.
Yeah, they bitch slapped.
But we don't care about Tottenham.
No. I know. Listen. This is in reference to how your league form might not translate in the Champions League form. So when Arsenal is topping the Premier League and topping the Champions League, you have to show some respect for the football they're playing. You can come back and say, oh, you haven't won anything. I hear you. Fact. But you have to show respect for the football that is being played right now, regardless of whatever it is that you're believing.
The point is that Arsenal is allowing other teams to stay in the race. I don't think City are in the race. City are 7 points behind. While lacking the mentality or experience, they should run with it while they can.
That was sort of my point, by the way, people. Shouts out to Reese. That is sort of what I was saying. But we were given the possibility and they didn't take it. They didn't.
I mean, we're saying Arsenal are the best team in all of Europe. Maybe we hold them to higher standards as the best team in Europe.
Yeah, the standards are high.
Yeah, when I keep hearing about the best squad in the world over and over.
Okay, so here's the thing. Here's what
I'm saying.
Two things can be true, right? We're the best team right now with the best squad because if you look at the table and how we've been doing, we're the best team. Do we know the know-hows of how to win a trophy? No, we don't. So again, being the best team and saying, oh, I've now got to hold you to the standard of Pep Guardiola, who knows how to win trophies, is being disingenuous. Those are two different conversations. If you want to talk about the football right now, Arsenal's football is superior to everybody right now.
Dale, I hear that, but you got to fake it till you make it a little bit, man. Pep Guardiola didn't walk into Barcelona as a Champions League winning coach from the treble in what his second or third season. You got to believe it.
Pep Guardiola did not walk into a team that had Rob Holding in defense. Pep Guardiola did not walk into a team that had what's his name, Pierre Matas. Who the heck did we even have?
Yeah, no, but Dale, I don't need us to win the league to believe this team's capable of winning. No.
That's why I said. That's why I said. That's why I said there's two.
How many points did City win in their first Prem buy? How many points did City win their first Prem buy? I actually don't know.
They did it. They tied with United. We won on goal difference.
Yeah. I don't know why it's relevant. But.
Yeah, it was the same amount that we tied with United. We just had a better goal difference.
For City, though, I just wanna say something about Manchester City. having Rodri in the team and having Rico Lewis and having Phil Foden, Kelk, are we going to have a conversation about Phil Foden yet or no? Or are we not allowed to?
Because
you cooked me. You cooked me on the football terrace. You cooked me. You remember that day when I came to the football? You cooked me on the football terrace.
The whole team has regressed. I don't know what the hell the shape is that the manager's playing. It doesn't fit anybody. Rodri has been I don't think Rodri before his ACL could do what Pep is asking him to do. This version of Rodri can't do it. I don't think Prime Fernandinho could have done it. I don't think Prime and N'Golo Kante could hold down the entire midfield by themselves like Pep is asking. I don't get this shape. This 3-1-6 needs to fucking go. It's awful.
He's playing 3-1-6.
Today was more of a 2-1-7. I don't know what the hell this is. This shape is awful. I don't know why you're playing a high line when you have Max Alena and Abdir Husanov, who are not
you're right.
young
it's not
and
that bad. You're
while
right.
playing no midfield in front of them, that is just stupid. We saw United just easily deke the ball over him. We saw Bodo Glimt easily deke the ball over and just. I don't know. For me, this is all on the manager. If everybody's playing
Bodo
terrible,
Glimt ran
everybody
through
looks
you. They didn't
terrible.
take the ball over. They ran through you.
It's
Bodo
the
Glimt, they cut
manager.
through you guys.
The manager is setting the team up wrong. Sometimes you got to check your ego and realize, I don't have the players to play the way I want to play.
Yeah, Kel,
and
that's
you
what I
have
was gonna
to
say.
adjust. Go
You
conservative. I'd have taken a boring 2-2 draw. Actually, that's what I predicted. I predicted a draw. This game felt like a trap to me. So I'm very frustrated. I keep seeing the same mistakes. I don't see them being fixed. I don't see the manager like understanding the gravity of the situation. You have Nathan Ake on half a leg. He didn't play today, but in the derby, drop the high line, play a little more conservative, just while you get this stabilized. While you look, and maybe it'll be different on Saturday. I don't know, but when that's your players available, you need to adjust to them. You need to not say like, hey, we're going to try this gung-ho football, because they can't do it. And today came down to a couple of individual mistakes. I mean, I'm disappointed with the game today. It wasn't quite as bad as the United game, because that United game, we created absolutely nothing. But in this game, still had the same problems, but we did create more chances. And, I do expect Erling Haaland to hit that shot right before halftime that he didn't. Instead, he looked like he wanted to go cry. There were a couple of header opportunities from the center backs. I don't know why we're counting on center backs to try to score his goals. That to me is a problem, but I don't know where Phil Foden was today. I don't know where Tijani Reinders was today. Right. Turkey was trying, but he was not good. The weight of the pass today from everybody was just killing me.
I'm just going to say that Phil Foden, Rodri had the lowest rating. Phil
Rodri
Foden
was not good today. Rodri
also Donnarumma today. What about Donnarumma? Like Donnarumma today, is he there? Donnarumma make mistakes?
He should have done better on the first goal.
Yeah, 100%.
The third one was like top bins, like that. Nobody's saving that.
Is this the end of this era for City? Is this the end of this era of City?
I don't know if it's the end, but I'm willing to consider that it's the end. Like this to me feels much more on Pep than the players. I feel like last year we did not have the squad, and I couldn't really blame Pep for not winning anything last year. Like we just had no Rodri, we had old Kovacic, we had old Bernardo running midfield, and it was not working clearly. And now I feel like we've spent an awful lot of money, and surely this should be worked out by now, and it's not.
Well, right, Jack.
The poor rotating of the squad is just that's why guys are gassed, and I hate using they're tired excuse, like, but that's what the manager is saying. But he's the one that rotates them, so I don't get it. I'm more on Pep with this like 2-3 week period of absolute.
Also, right,
crap,
Jack. Have you noticed he's not using these new players as much? He's still relying on Bernardo Silva in 2026. Why? I didn't miss him at all today. I'm just going to say that. We didn't miss Bernardo at all today. We probably played better without him. Why does he play every game? Why is Tijani Reinders constantly on the bench? Why is Ryan Turkey constantly on the bench in this run of games in the Premier League? Why isn't Phil Foden never being benched? We have Omar Marmoush back. Why? Holland's been awful. Bench him. If you don't think you can beat Bodo Glimt with Omar Marmoush, who had almost 40 GNA last season, then why is he even on the team? I don't get it. Use some of these new players. Why is Rico Lewis playing? You have other options. Like Rico Lewis, we know is not good enough.
Why is that?
It's a problem. Pep Guardiola cannot let go of some of these. Yeah. Nathan Ake's injured and he's been playing him. Thank God he didn't play him today.
Wallahi Azim, I thought that Ait Nouri plays right. Why is Ait Nouri starting right back for Manchester City in 2026? That doesn't make any sense.
Fair, it wasn't terrible.
I know he wasn't actually the worst player, but yeah,
that wasn't why we lost the game.
But people, can I just read some of the names of Man City's bench? So you got obviously Marmoush, you got 2 keepers, Trafford and Bettinelli, who was at Middlesbrough like last year or something. Nathan Ake, Stephen Mfuni, Kian Noble, Doku, Divine Mikasa, Charlie Gray, Tyrone Samba. I don't know what you lot have been doing in the transfer market, but how have you ended up?
The reason why the bench was academy players is because we had a suspension. We had 2 players who are in the first team who are ineligible to play right now. And I hate to say it because I never use it as an excuse, but we had like 10 players injured today.
Yeah, but even
for me, part of the injury crisis is
you are playing Bodo Glimt. Bodo Glimt.
What are we doing? What are we doing?
I'm with you guys. This was the most embarrassing game in Pep Guardiola's probably history.
And we said that Saturday too. I don't get it.
They're 32nd in the.
I don't care, bro. I don't care if what's his name, Pep Linder, is on the pitch. Pep Guardiola should be able to utilize the players at his disposal to win against Bodo Glimt.
I said that, Mo.
I'm with you.
With all due respect,
we had
Ryan Cherki. Let me just say this. Ryan Cherki is probably a 50 to an 80 million pound player that was bought because he wanted to leave Lyon. That's his quality. Phil Foden is player of the season. Tijani Reinders was midfielder of the season last season in Serie A, scoring 15 goals in the league. Erling Haaland is the best striker on planet Earth. Rodri is Ballon d'Or winner Rodri. Nico O'Reilly has been performing as the best left back. Donnarumma,
I tweeted this 2 hours ago.
The only name on the pitch today that I might give you a leeway on is Max Lane, right? Is Max Lane. Even Rico Lewis, by the way, triple winner. I have been told that Rico Lewis, not by you two guys, but by City fans 2 years ago, that Rico Lewis is the upcoming English star from the Pep Academy, from the Man City Academy. And I don't care if you don't like him. If Arsenal played the under-21 against Bodo Glimt, no one is going to give them leeway. It's Bodo Glimt. It's not that you lost against PSG. Pep Guardiola have completely lost his mind by not having a good plan against Bodo Glimt. I don't know one player in Bodo Glimt. One. I don't know one player at Bodo Glimt. It's one player. I don't know.
You could add their value of their team all together, and it's not touching one of our players that started. I mean,
Max Lane might be more expensive than the whole Bodo Glimt. If Man City sell Max Lane tomorrow, he will cost more than the Bodo Glimt team. There is a guy, bro.
That's why I said
it's a joke. It's a joke, Mo.
It's not. It's a joke. This is a ridiculous result for Pep Guardiola's tenure at Manchester City. I don't care if you have injuries. You have players on the pitch that probably worth by themselves more than $500 million or more. Erling Haaland by himself should be able to be Bodo Glimt. By himself.
Yeah. Ben, Erling didn't get the ball. And when he did get the ball, he skied it wide. He hooked it wide.
The striker
Bodo had never beaten an English team in their history.
Nobody's pressing on this team. Nobody's trying to get the ball back. The only time somebody tried to put a tackle in to show they gave a fuck was Rodri, and he got sent off. I think Rodri just phoned it in after that point. I think he said, I don't want to play on this plastic pitch anymore. I'm out of here. And he just got himself sent off with a horse collar. That's bad news if the captain is doing that. So I just...
By the way, Rodri...
This is on the manager. If everybody on the team is struggling, if the team is not functioning, this is on the manager. I think he's caught in between. I don't know if it's him or... There's two different teams.
I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell you.
Nobody knows what to do.
Let me tell you what happened. Let me tell you. Pep Guardiola saw Rodri come back, and he went back to his. I'm gonna pass the ball 50,000 times, and he did his thing there. Bruno, Bernardo, Foden, Cherki, pass here, pass left, pass right. Let's do the same thing. And he's like, bro, football doesn't work like this anymore.
Well, also. That doesn't work anymore because when we lose the ball, nobody presses to get
Nobody runs back.
Foden doesn't do it, even though he's young and old. Bernardo tries, but Bernardo's old and washed up. He should not be playing every game. Ryan Cherki doesn't do it. He's a fresh young player. You should be putting more effort in.
No, he doesn't. Ryan Cherki doesn't
do it. That's a problem because you bought these players in the summer and you're still relying on old players who aren't good enough. and they just physically can't do what's being asked of them, and that means the manager.
Yeah,
has to be more concerned.
I'm supposed to think that City will catch Arsenal in this league. That's what I'm saying.
That's not happening. I mean,
it's not happening. I don't think it is happening. I don't think the City team is going to catch Arsenal. I'm going to tell you something. I actually don't trust the City team to win against Wolves at home the next game.
I don't either.
No,
I'm absolutely terrified of that game on
sure.
Saturday.
I'm not.
I tweeted it. You can go
and say without. By the way, I am 100% sure City will smoke Wolves at home. I'm not sure.
Yeah, but Mo, can I just say, remember we was on here a few weeks back after Maresca got sacked and you boys were saying, how much is City going to beat Chelsea? And I was like, well, I'm not sure. I'm not sure they're going to win. This could be a draw. And you all said I've gone mad. Anything can happen.
And also, do you remember,
I don't get it.
We had this discussion. I'm not sure if Kilk was here with us or with other City fans. We were talking about, does this City team have a second gear? And me and you said, it's impossible. That run of 8 games, 8 wins out of 9 games, and me and Romario actually literally went into the numbers of Ryan Cherky. One of the main reasons Man City were winning all these games, Ryan Cherky climbed from having 1 big chance created to be top of the league in assists and big chance created. And it was impossible for him to continue in that run. Otherwise, he would be Zinedine Zidane. It would be messy. Because if he continues that trajectory of creating that many chances, he would be the best player ever to ever play football. It's impossible because he would have ended the season in like 40 assists or something. And we said it's hard.
Well, think about it. Who else is creating chances on the team besides Jeremy Doku?
Nobody. No one.
Suddenly has health issues.
No one.
Nobody. Bone's not creating chances. Bernardo Silva doesn't create chances. Tijani Reinders doesn't create chances, but when he plays second striker, he scores goals.
You are the one that did the longest here with me. 2 years now, me and you have been doing shows together. I kept saying, Phil Foden isn't a creative player. He's a Jamal Musiala type player. He's a player that likes to go to the goal first before creating for his team. He's a direct footballer. That's why you watch Phil Foden. You watch Phil Foden. He's always the guy that wants to score goals. He's never had a season. Probably, if I'm not mistaken, his player of the season. His player of the season. He had more goals than assists. He isn't a Cherky. He isn't a Kevin De Bruyne. He is someone that and it doesn't work. He is someone that if he doesn't get the goal, Phil Foden is a passenger. He passes the ball around.
Yeah, he had 19 goals, 8 assists, 19
exactly.
goals, 8
he's a
assists.
more direct. He's a Jamal Musiala. Jamal Musiala, people think he's a creative. Jamal Musiala is a goal scorer.
That's why when Phil had his purple patch earlier this season, it was when we were winning games and playing direct football. Pep has decided to abandon direct football, and the whole team is screwed up for it. Like nobody is thriving. Nobody is doing well in this game.
That's very, very true.
We need to go back to playing direct, and I don't know when we can. Because it started. A lot of people are blaming Vardiol and Diaz being out. This started. This like kind of drop. It started while they were still on the team. So I don't think it's.
Finally, someone said it. Finally, someone said that because people tell me it's the defense.
It's not the defense. It's not.
The defense is not the problem. The defense is not. I don't think the defense is. I think they've done well. Like when in that game, we haven't won a Premier League game in how long, but. I'm going to say this. Everyone's like, "Oh, your defense is shit." We gave up like 2 goals in 3 games, and everyone's like, "Oh, your defense is ass." Like, no, we weren't scoring any goals.
It's Rodri. Since Rodri came back, let's just establish the reality. Rodri is a brilliant footballer on the ball. Since Rodri came back, City, and I'm presenting you the fact before Omari comes in. City went from being the 4th team in ball position in the league to the 2nd. Right away. Why? Because Pep Guardiola chose to play back the position-based football because he has his Rodri back. But that doesn't work. Rodri is the problem at City now because Pep Guardiola sees Rodri and he wants to play the 1,000 passes again. He doesn't want to do the compact, defend compact, go back in defense, everybody work off the ball. He doesn't want that. He wants to press high, let's press, Today, Bodo Glimt, couple of passes, they're behind Rodri. Couple of passes.
Okay,
he can't do it by himself anymore. He needs another.
Play at the Emirates.
Of course he can't. He doesn't have the legs.
Mo, how did we play at the Emirates?
You won a counter attack. You dispossessed Arsenal. Quick transition, scored the goal, defended.
Okay,
tactically
and who
superior.
started that game? And guess who started that game? and played the full 90. That was Rodri. That wasn't Nico G. That was before Rodri got injured.
Yeah, but
so we can't play that way with Rodri. Is what the point I'm trying to make.
Yeah, but he chose not to.
But interestingly,
it's on the manager. Yes, on Pep, exactly.
Yeah, but interestingly, against Newcastle 2 weeks ago or last week, you didn't start Rodri and you win 2-0. So it's weird. Is Rodri?
Yeah, we had Nico O'Reilly. He was great in that game.
Yeah, he was class.
Yeah, because Nico O'Reilly, number one, Nico O'Reilly physically stronger than Rodri. Can we just establish this?
Right now, yes.
People need to understand, people that played sports, any sport, by the way.
Yeah.
We know coming back from an ACL, you don't have the same energy as before. Number one,
mentally exactly. You're a bit scared.
You know, I remember I came back from a hamstring injury. I was scared to make a sprint for 100%. Same. I'm scared to make that because I'm afraid that my leg is going to go. He's definitely shy away from the tackles because he is afraid. The guy had a long-term injury.
That begs the question then. Why is Pep Guardiola asking Rodri with some caution from a long-term injury? Why is he asking him to play a midfield by himself? While everybody else is pushing. Why is he asking him to do that job? Why is he putting someone next to him?
Your manager is losing his head.
He could have put Nico O'Reilly next to him today. He put Rico Lewis, who offers absolutely nothing. I'm sorry.
And by the way,
Rico next to Rodri offered nothing.
Nathan Ake played at the back.
Rico Lewis, sorry.
Nathan Ake could have played at the back. He could have played Nico O'Reilly in the middle next to Rodri to do the running. He chose Rico Lewis to play in the middle with Reinders. He chose that. He chose to play Foden left wing and not. By the way, he's playing fucking Wolves, right? If he won the game,
Doku hasn't had a knock. That's what it was. Doku got injured, so he was just on the bench as a placeholder. He wasn't ever going to come on.
Yeah, we still could have started.
Again, Jeremy Doku is an injury-prone player. We know this. We should have planned around it better.
Also, Ake's very.
That's what I'm asking for the rest of the season. Put someone next to Rodri. Someone. I don't care who it is. Put Bernardo Silva next to him since he's so obsessed with Bernardo Silva. Put him next to Rodri and say you babysit him.
Daddy Shake
the way that
again,
Pep is trying to play, it's not working with Rodri by himself.
Time to go back into the market. Yeah.
You need to go back to Daddy Shake, man. You need to get the purse out. Maybe buy.
We are going to have to in the summer because we're losing 2, maybe 3 midfielders in the summer. So
Man City
we're going to have to buy a midfielder in the summer, whether you like it or not.
Mo,
I would be surprised if we went back, but
imagine what?
Imagine Man
City
went back in another player this window. I think you might have to.
I don't have to.
They're not going to.
I don't think so because at this point, it's 7 points.
I haven't been on since this happened. Everybody crying about Mark Gahey coming in. Well, John Stones, this guarantees John Stones is leaving this summer. So they just moved up the timeline on buying. They were going to go for Mark Gahey in the summer anyway. They're just buying him as the John Stones replacement right now. That's all it is. Because John Stones is out. He's not going to be here next summer. So you had to replace the center back.
Thank you guys for the support. Guys, we still have 1,000 people. We need to get to 500 likes live. Hit that like button, people. Also, there's something I need to ask you. Romario Webster channel in the description. Ray Jack channel is in the description as well, so go and support him. Doing a lot of content. Also Gunner Edge, of course, in the description as well. Wasn't having a dig at City. You have done great things. My comment was about respecting the quality of the league. Stop sulking. That's the problem. People say that the league is weaker. I genuinely believe, and I said that plenty of times, and we had this discussion with Kelk and I had discussion with Romario. I think games now in the Premier League is harder to win.
Yeah,
because tactically teams are way superior.
Yeah, 100%.
And also teams are way more structured now in the league. Teams die for the point on the pitch.
Oh, mate.
And before, die on the for the point on the pitch. It is very hard to win football matches now. You have to work probably twice as hard as before. Teams don't give up easily. Teams fight. There is a new tactics, wasting time and all this stuff. My man, City fans got too comfortable thinking as long as Pep is in charge, gives them God's given right to win everything. That's what having too much money does to you.
It's not a God-given right. It's just that we did win everything. So we kind of assumed it would continue. But having too much money,
Pep is
how
here.
horrible for
Obviously,
us.
when Pep is not here, we will not have the same expectations. But when you
Oh,
have
you
a
will.
world-class
Oh, you
squad
will,
and you have
Kel.
a great manager,
I mean, I'm going to have the same expectations.
You will. You will.
With
There's
these
no
owners,
way
I
Pep
want
leaves.
to win everything every single year. And I know we won't, but that's what the owners want to do. Why wouldn't I, as the fan, be expecting absolute competition in all, or competitive performances in all 4 competitions? That's what I want.
Yeah, Strasbourg, Steve. I warned people a while ago about Bodo Glimt. They are a legit team. Big up, Steve. Big up, Steve.
Steve, you need to start reading the room better. I told you this on my watch along. Steve and I we banter all the time. I'm not mad at him. But
Steve, I'm sorry, Steve. I don't care how good Bodo Glimt are. They cannot school Man City. With all due respect to everyone. Are you like, it doesn't matter how good you are as a Bodo Glimt. Man City, one player of Man City can buy the whole club. Like, what are we doing here? Steve.
It could have been 5-0 today, by the way. They did school us today. It could have been 5-0 Bodo Glimt today.
Slow position style doesn't work anymore. Each player can be doubled on or tripled on easy in the middle of the sides. What is Foden supposed to do? But so play better, pass better. I'm gonna let me give you an example, Aris, for this. Last game in the first half, Rodri completed 70 passes. Foden as a midfielder completed 18. City had against Man United 70% possession. That's how he can do better. Get on the ball more. Ask for the ball more. That's what you do as a midfielder.
I think he has to go get the ball more. Like
that's what I said. Foden was hiding.
Nobody's getting him the ball. He has to go get it.
No, he was hiding. He was hiding.
Because Man City had the game, I agree with you. Yes,
he was hiding. He was hiding. He was surrendering to the market. He was surrendering to the market. 7, I don't know, ECL, 7 Champions League wins in a row, first time ever. Put some respect on my coach. All he needs is some trophies so he can finally get the respect he deserves. He needs to win, right? He needs to win. He needs to win, to be honest with you.
That's all anybody's ever said, too.
By the way, it will be put to the sword if Pep Guardiola, if Mikel Arteta wins 1 trophy this season. Steve, I am being honest. Bodo Glimt have been performing well in the Champions League this season despite not getting the result. They could have beaten Borussia Dortmund, Monaco, and Juventus. Fair enough. Fair enough. But again, it's City, Steve. Steve, it's City.
Yeah.
What are we doing here, Steve?
You're just digging the knife in.
10 Gyokeres, 9 all comps. Ekitike 10, I think, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, he came back and said Ekitike 10 goals, Gyokeres 9 in all competitions.
Very interesting.
You're not gonna sit here and compare Gyokeres to Ekitike, right?
Mo, can I just qualify this comment? So people, after the stream's done, go ahead to my reaction to the Inter game, go watch it. And I actually mentioned Ekitike because a lot of the narrative has been he's been a successful signing, but Gyokeres hasn't. Gyokeres was cheaper and has 1 less goals. So what I'm gonna say,
I'm almost done, guys. I know that. Yeah, big up. Romario Webster, guys. It's in the description. But guys, hit that like button. I want to thank everyone that joined us here. I will see you guys tomorrow on a solo stream, 2 p.m. UK time. Check out my stream tomorrow at 2 p.m. before I be in the football terrace. Hit that like button, guys, before you go. And subscribe to the channel, Ray Jack channel in the description, Romario Webster channel in the description as well. Of course, I'm going to put True City Fan in the description as well. That is Patrick, Kelk, and Matthias channel in the description as well. And go support the guys. Hit that like button, guys, before you go. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. Let me actually redirect to someone. I don't know who's live. Maybe Flawless is live with someone. I need to redirect to someone. Flawless is live, actually. So I'm redirecting to Flawless. Let's
Big up
go.
everyone in the chat. Big up the chat.
I will see you guys. And we are out of here, people. Thank you so much, guys. We're out.